Welcome to Deep Thought, Parallel Lives. You know what? I know, y'all probably be saying to yourself, man, Rom got a lot of time to think. I do. I just think deep thoughts. That's what I do. In fact, I was told recently I need to relax more. I do. Because even in my sleep, I'm contemplating global conquest. It's like, create a foundation, like put people in every country, feed people, shit. Put agents in place to take over countries. Yeah, I'm doing this in my sleep while talking. I actually keep a tape recorder next to my thing. Reveal the existence of real life mutants. Show them what's really in Area 51. Real life mutants. Every single one is black. Yeah. Let's do this. But I was thinking about parallel lives because, that's a staple of, the whole thing about a parallel universe. A multiverse as is probably known in science fiction circles, comic book circles. And the premise is simple. And, you got some people who are connected with the New Age community. They believe they're real. Now, as far as how real they are, I don't know. Probably. Personally, I just think it's more of an energetic thing where you can, like, a choice could lead to something else. And I think is deeper than what maybe the, science fiction writers know, but they don't get that deep. They need to, like, show a different thing. Like one of the most favorite, like this Star Trek franchise, and they had the Mirror Universe. Where all they got versions of themselves, all of them are bad though or evil. It was like, oh, that's deep. But you ever think about that sometimes? Because a parallel universe is created with every single choice. Like, what if, where would you be right now? Right now you're listening to this video. And you might or might not give something, it might spark something, it might not, it might be entertaining to you. Yeah, you might think it's whack. And that's cool. That's cool. But what if years ago I made a different choice? At any point in my life, I did, I might have said, hey, why don't I just practice law? Or why don't I go to medical school? Or why don't why don't I, like, get into media formally? Y'all might be listening, like, say if I got into media, y'all might be listening to my voice, but then y'all might be watching me on some TV talk show. That still might happen, but it could have happened back in the 90s or even 80s, really. Or listening to me on the radio. Or what if I say, you know what, I'm going to get into politics. Y'all might be blaming everything on President Wills. Y'all see how that work? So you ever think, okay, what if I made this choice? Like on a personal level, what if you made a different choice? I want everybody to think about that, though. What if you made a different choice? What if you chose a different mate? What if you didn't sleep with that crazy person? Or what if you slept with that person or gave a chance to? Like a lot of women, I've seen this with women. A lot of women always have a tendency to look back at some guy and like say, what if? Or he should have been a shoulda. I talked about that on my women's channel. Many women have a shoulda, like they should have hooked up with him. What your life would have been like. What if, definitely you might not have had the kids that you had. Or you might have got into something. Or what if you practiced this different profession? And then, you think about the butterfly effect. What if your small decision affects stuff globally? Let me get back to President Wills, which was actually an ambition I had. Let me share something interesting, because I thought about that sometimes, because I remember this was back when I was a freshman in college. And it was, I was in a cafeteria. I was in a student building at my college. St. Joseph's University. And I remember there were 3 well-suited, important-looking white men, and they were in there. I think they were alumni. And I remember it's striking. This is back in 1983. This is like in the 3rd year of Emperor Reagan. And they were, I remember I talked to them, and they said, yeah, you could be, I told them my name, and they said, yeah, you can be Senator Wills. And now, think about it. They didn't say it in a condescending like or paternalistic way. The way they said it, they didn't say it in a condescending or paternalistic way like, some powerful white males might do with some black kids. Like, oh yes, you can be a senator. They were talking serious. Like the vibe I got when I look back at it, I was like, I wonder if they would have sponsored me. Because really, if you understand politics, people don't come out of the blue. Like Obama didn't just come out the blue. Like, dude went to an Ivy League college and then went to Harvard. And it was a big deal for him to be, the first black editor of the Harvard Law Review. That was a big deal for him. Now, if you understand how that thing works, it's planned out. So I thought about that. What if on a parallel world or a decision, I'd got friendly and just said, oh yeah, I like that. Because I just smiled and said thank you. But what if I say, oh, I like that? I mean, any way y'all can help me? What if I say something like that and say, hey, here's our name, we'll mentor you, we keep up with you. You got to keep your grades up. Shit. Y'all might have been saying President Wills now. Or in the past. Or Senator Wills, who's running for president, or something like that. Well, if I made that different decision, but then at the same time, I probably wouldn't be on YouTube. And no telling who that might have affected, whose lives that might have changed in a different way. Now, say Senator Wills might have changed wherever I decided to be senator for. I probably would have had to move to another state because I was living in D.C. at the time, and we don't have representation there. But what if I'm in Maryland, establish residency, move up, and then Senator Wills, y'all might be affected by me in a different way. Especially maybe I might have been Senate Majority Leader or Congressman. I could have been Speaker of the House. That might have been affected you in a different way than maybe on a different level where on days like today, I'm just giving you some stuff to think about. But you don't know how that affect the next person. Like Senator Wills might have affected somebody in some ways, might have inspired them, might have gotten people killed, might have gotten people impeached. Or Senator Wills become President Wills and might have nuked the country or something. You don't know how many lives would have changed. But then the lives touched by what I do on these podcasts, because people don't I don't talk about it as, well, I've mentioned it before. A lot of people have been affected by my books. I've had a lot of people come back to me, and it's not even so much tell me that they met the right woman. I've had that, but a lot of people men and women have told me, they got into a business because they were inspired by me. So that might have affected something. Because remember, everything's affect everything. Now, a third thing, what if Rom hung out with some of those bad kids he might have hung out with when he was little? Y'all might not hear about me at all. Might be in a wheelchair somewhere because I was part of a botched robbery. And think about it, every single decision. And if people don't know, even though people, somebody might be listening and say, well, I don't do videos, I don't write, I don't do anything. You don't know how an act of kindness might have helped somebody. And I've seen that. I remember this, I was reminded of this woman who used to work at my college again, St. Joe's. And she was just the woman in charge of the cafeteria. But everybody loved her. Everybody loved her. When she retired, you had a whole bunch of, she was a black woman, but she had a whole bunch of white kids, conservative white kids at the time, who they put on something for her, and they sent her off. they sent her off because she was special to them. I mean, seriously. She was like a mother figure. She was like a grandma, auntie to a whole lot of kids. Might have helped them to get through some stuff. So, you never know who you touch with your life, or what you might have done to affect the future. How many, like that woman I mentioned, how many future leaders, business people who've done some positive stuff were influenced by just her saying, hey, hey, baby. That was her thing, saying, hey, hey, baby. So it's something to think about. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Keep rising and transforming. Peace.